Hey everyone, welcome. So, you know how most of the world is just glued to those daily crypto price charts, right? The ups, the downs. Well, while that's happening, a massive tectonic shift is going on just beneath the surface. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and show you how the actual plumbing of global finance is being totally rebuilt right now. And I want to start by asking you this, straight up. While you're watching the charts and you're scrolling through all the hype online, are you missing the real story? Because let's be honest, what's happening in the background is a completely different game, and it's being played by the biggest names in finance. So to really get what's going on, we've got to first talk about the environment most of us are in. It's a world filled with noise, endless distractions, and, yeah, a whole lot of frustration. I mean, for the average person, this is your daily reality, right? Constant price swings that make it impossible to sleep, a fire hose of noise on social media, and that awful feeling in your gut that you're always about to miss out. The source material we're looking at really points to this anger and frustration as a huge part of the landscape right now. And this quote, man, it just nails it. The real action isn't on your trading screen. It's not in the price charts. It's in the pipes, the rails, the actual foundational infrastructure that's being laid down as we speak. All right, so what is this new infrastructure? Well, that brings us to section 2, what's being called the tokenization supercycle. This is the big institution-led movement that is quietly changing, well, everything. First things first, just a quick definition so we're all on the same page. Tokenization. It's really simple. It's just the process of taking a real-world asset, like a building, a share of a stock, a government bond, and turning the ownership rights into a digital token that lives on a blockchain. That's it. And once you do that, it's instantly transferable, you can split it into tiny pieces, and pretty much anyone can access it. Now, check this out. This is where you see that classic slowly then all at once pattern in action. It took 2 whole years for tokenized assets to climb from 1 billion to 2 billion, but then look at the next 2 years. It's projected to jump tenfold to 20 billion. The pressure is seriously building up. And this is where it gets just staggering. Presto Research is projecting that by the end of this year alone, the market for these tokenized assets will hit almost $500 billion. And let's be crystal clear about something. This isn't happening because people are buying meme coins. This explosion is coming from huge institutional products, like US Treasuries, moving onto the blockchain. I love this quote from the source because it just perfectly captures the scale of what's happening where nobody's looking. It's like everyone's watching a little campfire in the front yard, but behind the house, in the financial plumbing, there's a massive explosion going on. So who's actually doing all this? Who is behind this massive project of rewiring the world's money? Well, let's meet the key players and take a look at the new system they are building. Here's a really simple way to think about it. Imagine the DTCC is this vast, deep ocean of all financial transactions. And Swift? Swift is the bridge that connects all the different continents across that ocean. Just like it did for the old banking system, Swift's new job is to connect all of these new, separate, tokenized networks. And meanwhile, the DTCC, the ocean itself, is getting ready to move the entire US Treasury market on-chain. And just to give you a sense of scale for this ocean, the DTCC processes over $3.7 quadrillion in transactions every year. That's a 3 with 15 zeros after it. I mean, it's a number so big it barely makes sense. When a player this huge makes a move, the whole world feels it. And look, these titans can't use the old rusty pipes. To move this kind of value, they need brand new, high-speed utility networks. Networks like the XRP Ledger and Stellar are already out there, battle-tested, each handling over $1 billion in tokenized assets. And at the same time, you have these super specialized networks like Canton popping up, built to provide that critical privacy and connectivity that these big institutions absolutely have to have. Okay, this all brings us to a really critical point, the dilemma for the retail investor. Because as this new world is being built, there's a huge difference in how regular people and big institutions are being protected. For so many of us, it's still the Wild West out there. We're constantly at risk from data leaks and these incredibly sophisticated phishing attacks, where just one wrong click can wipe out everything. But the institutions, they're operating inside a fortress. They use what are called closed-loop systems. Everything is audited, it's insured, and it's designed for maximum security. Funds can literally only be sent back to a pre-verified bank account. It's a different universe. So you have to ask, why is there such a disconnect? Well, the source material offers a fascinating and kind of cynical theory. This isn't an accident. The sideways price action, the frustration, the boredom, it all actually helps the institutions. It gives them time to accumulate assets on these new networks while everyone else gets fed up and sells, right before the whole system gets switched on for real. So where is all of this actually going? What's the end game? In our final section, let's take a look at the quadrillion-dollar future that all this new plumbing is going to make possible. I think this vision from Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong just captures the whole point perfectly. It's all about radical, unbelievable accessibility. A world where anyone, no matter where they are, can instantly buy a tiny $5 piece of any asset they want and then trade it at 3 in the morning on a Sunday if they feel like it. This is what they're calling the everything exchange. It means markets that never, ever sleep. It means your transactions settle instantly. We can finally say goodbye to that ancient T+2 waiting period. And maybe most important of all, it means anyone can own a piece of anything. Stocks, bonds, your neighbor's house, all of it liquid, all of it tokenized, and all of it accessible on-chain. And this is the key takeaway of this entire explainer. The source is dead serious on this point. The slowly part of this whole transition is over. This isn't a test run anymore. The DTCC is moving, Swift is moving, Standard Chartered has confirmed it. We have officially gone from the pilot phase to full-scale production. So we're going to end where we began, with a question for you to think about. As this new financial world comes online, are you focused on the little flicker of the daily price candle? Or are you watching the quadrillions of dollars that are just now starting to flow through these new pipes? Because where you choose to put your attention, that could make all the difference.